Welcome to Business Enquirer. My name is Fru Murdoch, Senior Editor at Business Enquirer. We are joined by Julia Palle, Sustainability Director at Formula E. During today's interview, we'll be discussing Julia's leadership and vision while discovering more about Formula E's exciting future. First things first, it would be great to hear more about you and how it all started.
So my background is actually sustainability and business. I've done a business school in France. You can certainly hear my French accent. From that, I wanted to really focus myself and my career in quite impactful industries, so the industrial world. And I had the opportunity to get started at Michelin, the tire manufacturer, in their motorsport division many years ago now. At that time, I basically started merging my sustainability background in the motorsport world 12 years ago, a bit more now. It was completely new, and that was really quite forward-facing for Michelin to start considering the implication of these topics in the motorsport world. We did the first life cycle assessment of a tire with FIA at the time, a racing tire, of course. And based on that, we basically were monitoring the innovative projects that were going on in the world, including this weird electric single-seater car that at the time was called Formula E, that turned into the Formula E Racing Championship. And that's how everything started for me. And I got recruited very early on by Alejandro Agag to come and work to do the sustainability strategy of the championship. And what we've tried to achieve consistently is to make sure that the vision and the mission of Formula E, which has always been purpose-driven, I think we can honestly say that Formula E was the first real purpose-driven sport in the world, given the fact that we're such a young sport and that purpose and sustainability were very much at the heart of what we were trying to achieve 10 years ago when the championship was created. So my role has always been to make sure that, the delivery on the event, the product, the way we work with our ecosystem is very much matching and delivering on the mission of the championship and getting it as sustainable as it can get. What I think is even more important is that we've created an authentic culture for sustainability within the championship. It goes from the staff, the teams, the partners, and ultimately, I hope it transcends the fans. Because what we want to showcase to the world is that Formula E is a platform to offer sustainable solutions and sustainable lifestyles that they're going to be excited about. The problem that we see a lot at the moment around the narrative of climate change is that it's a lot of doom and gloom discussions, when if you think about the next generation, we need to make sure that, yes, they have the same equal opportunities, but also that they're excited about their future. And we firmly believe that the technological solutions that we are testing in the championship, obviously the cars, but also what goes beyond, and we can go back to some of these initiatives that we have with some of our partners, are really exciting for the children coming. Certainly, it's been central to the success of Formula E to have the leadership very committed to sustainability and taking it as a strategic, central DNA dimension of the championship. We have a way of presenting it. Formula E is like the yin and the yang. It's the racing and reason. So obviously, you need the sport to inspire people, touch their heart, their mind, and their souls, and really pass on the sustainability message. So the sport is the vehicle to then convey the sustainability message. It really works hand in hand. And certainly, we've seen a lot of, very important and renowned scientists saying that obviously science only touches probably like less than 10% of the population, whereas sports touches billions of people across the world. So if you use that, let's say, vehicle of the entertainment and the passion element that people have for sport, then you really have a chance to inspire them to live sustainable lifestyle. And then when you come on our events, you basically get a day in the life of what a sustainable future can look like. And again, still very attractive, super exciting, seeing the cars, but also eating vegetarian recipes or having some entertainment for children around renewable energy and efficiency, or discussing about diversity, equity, and inclusion with a program that is called Girls on Track, where we take young girls coming from diverse social backgrounds to come and be inspired about a potential career in STEM topics. So this is very much how we use our event to really convey the message with this passion element. Absolutely. So Formula is the first and the only 100% electric racing single-seater car series. We were created with a very clear mission that was to advance electrification on our streets. And I think our mission has been growing and got broader because we are actually delivering very much on that mission. If you think 10 years ago, the state of the electric market and today's state of the electric market, the number of brands that are producing electric vehicles, that would be probably more difficult to give an example of brands that are not producing electric vehicles. If you think about the range of options that you have from a passenger vehicle perspective in terms of electric vehicles, it's absolutely amazing when you think that 10 years ago, there were only probably, honestly, very, very few options available in the market. Another very important element was the technology around electrification, which is a usual reason to be for motorsport, to keep advancing electrification and to be used as a technological laboratory. Just to give you a couple of examples, over the first season, we managed to double the battery capacity of our cars, which obviously has butterfly effect, positive effect on the rest of the battery global industry. Because if in 4 seasons we managed to double the capacity, then these technology innovations are straight transferred into the battery electric vehicles that we are driving and using globally. Other elements of the technology are very crucial, and that's why we have such an important lineup of car manufacturers, OEMs, as we call them, because ultimately they can develop and customize their own technologies that are going to be transferred on the cars that you and I will be driving. An example is Jaguar. Jaguar has been with us almost since the very beginning of the season, of the championship. And in just a few seasons, they managed to develop technologies that were straight transferred into their I-Pace electric SUV. So that's really something that testifies that the technological transfer is very strong and active within the Formula E Championship. Another benefit of that is the affordability of the vehicles, because it's very important for us to showcase that as we develop the technology, it becomes obviously more beneficial for the consumer, the end consumer that is going to be buying the electric vehicles. The fact that the technological transfer is relatively short from the garages to the track is that basically healthy sign that, these technologies are going to become more and more accessible and will continue to be more and more accessible, which is important for us. Last but not least, the last barrier to entry of electric, to the electric market globally was the infrastructure. And once more, we've wanted to use consistently the championship as a laboratory to test and solve those issues around the wider electrification. And we've been working around solutions around charging, because obviously we know that charging is still a constraint from a consumer perspective, once having enough charging point, but this is something that the world is progressively catching up on, but to the speed of the charging. And you will see in the next few seasons the introduction of ultra fast charging solutions, which very much again are very important for us to test and to develop, and then to showcase to the world that this is a worry from the past. My goal is probably the same on the short, medium, and long term, which is very much maintaining the leadership and the innovative touch that we have through the championship. And it's something that transpires throughout the business. So from sustainability angle, that's how do we make sure we maintain the leadership position that we have. We were the first sport in the world to achieve net zero carbon certification. 1 year after, we were the first sport in the world to align on 2 science-based targets. Now we're very much working on 2 diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. I've given the example of Girls on Track, but we are working on more. So this is how we maintain the relevance of the sport, but also we make sure that we constantly deliver on that mission to showcase that we're here to accelerate sustainable human progress and give very concrete solutions to live more sustainable lifestyles that are not going to feel less, but that are going to be really perceived as the coolest thing. Because we know that the next generation, Gen Z, is inherently demanding for a purpose in whatever they will be doing, especially when consuming entertainment and sport. We are very proud that Gen 3 is going to be the pinnacle of performance, technology, and sustainability. It's something that we've been putting a lot of effort in to make sure that's really what symbolizes the championship, the car, is very much carrying the deep values that we're trying to embody. So it was extremely important for us to make sure that the car would be really the pinnacle of sustainability alongside the technological performance, alongside the racing elements. We've been very much working with the key suppliers around the car to make sure that each of them would have a very clear sustainability roadmap that they need to deliver on and to respect, contractually included in their, in their deliveries. So it's a contractual requirement. So to give you a sense of how seriously we've taken it, and with the support obviously of the FIA as or a governing federation. And I'm really proud to say that this is a car that will have a clear end of life for all of these key components. This is a car that has been thought through with circular design in mind. So clearly thinking about the end of life and the impact throughout the life of the car when starting to design the first tire, the first battery, the first chassis. So I can't give you too much of the details at this stage because we will have to wait for Monaco. But this is clearly, hopefully, a step up in what the wider motorsport industry can look at and be inspired to deliver in the future in terms of sustainability credentials of a high performance race car. Certainly, COVID has been a very, very hard time for all of us on a personal and a business level. But as you say, COVID has also been like any crisis foundational moment, something that has enabled us to basically take a look at things that we were doing in a different way and unveil some new opportunities. One example is the partnership that we've created with UNICEF. We started working with UNICEF during COVID crisis because we realized that at the time children were deeply affected by COVID, but indirectly. So we wanted to reposition the focus on the impact that children were experiencing firsthand. And that collaboration with UNICEF was so deep and so successful that we decided to extend and create this long-lasting partnership that we've built with them around all the climate work that they do. This is called the Safe and Healthy Environment Fund. So this is one of several examples of an amazing outcome that COVID has enabled us to really work on and achieve. On a completely different, let's say, kind of like angle, we've had to rethink through some of the processes in relation to catering on our events. Obviously, the buffets were not available anymore because of the COVID restrictions and the sensitivities around that. So we've been taking a different approach that has enabled us to drastically reduce the food waste that was generated, where we actually serve meals in portions, basically boxes, that the boxes themselves are recyclable. But what works best is that there's no kind of like open buffets anymore, and everyone is basically optimizing the amount of food that is being served and being used on our events. We've even done that at the hospitality level for our guests, and our catering partner, has really seen a huge positive result in the amount of food waste that we are generating, which is basically close to zero now. It is very much a personal probably pride to be able to wake up every day and work for a business that is literally trying to change the world. Having that sense of purpose and meaning is something that has very much cemented my career, but also my personal life. I don't think I would be able to work in a company that, is only doing business. I need that meaningful element, that direction, that feeling that we do something for the greater good. So I think I've then seen all the challenges as challenges on the moment, but opportunities to really change the status quo. The reality is, when I started my career, motorsport was not exactly an environment that was ready for sustainability. It probably felt a bit contradictory, if not paradoxical, in the beginning. But I'm very proud to see where Formula E has gone. As I was mentioning, the culture that we've created regarding sustainability within the business and more broadly within the motorsport industry, because I'm really amazed to see how the rest of the motorsport industry has taken up to the challenge of sustainability and is quite very much at the forefront of the rest of the sports industry, because they've understood it's something that it's really not a nice to have anymore, but a must have. What matters to me is to make sure that this is a real authentic approach each time. The fact that we were able to switch from the two cars that we used in generation one of the championship with this single car per driver in the Gen 2 era was certainly a huge step forward, something that enabled us to gain certainly more confidence in terms of what the electric vehicles can offer to the fan perspective, but also from a manufacturer perspective. The fact that they were very much showcasing a solution that was really close to the experience that their consumer would have in a car that they would not basically change for one battery to another. So I feel it was a very, very important breakthrough in our development as a championship and as a sport. Now, I think what is coming ahead of us is very much the important work that is being done with all the teams and the partners, where we are really trying to showcase the sustainability credentials of all of them and how all of us together are contributing to achieving and delivering on the mission of Formula E. We've started giving some strong examples with some of our partners. Allianz has supported us in developing a phase out from single-use plastic of our events by implementing hydration stations and reusable vessels. In just a season and a half, we saved the equivalent of 300,000 plastic bottles, which is, in the grand scheme of things, just on the Formula E level. Imagine if the world was taking this kind of stance and commitment. So this is very much what we're trying to showcase, giving very concrete solutions and using the expertise of our teams and our partners so that they can communicate that message through concrete action each time to our audience. No, I think we've covered everything. Thank you very much.